Well, hello racing fans, welcome to our Gallop TV preview show for Saturday the 3rd of May, the official start of the KZN Champions season, featuring the WSB Guineas, WSB Fillies Guineas, the Independent on Saturday, and of course the supporting feature will be the East Coast Cup. That's a listed race. Yeah, lots to play for on this Saturday, lots of feature races, exciting equine athletes that will be taking their place, including the ruling favourite for the Hollywoodbets Durbanville in 8 on 18 that takes his place in the Guineas. Joined by Radhakrishna for this preview show, and it is one of those days that we will be remembering during KZN Champion season, because it's the official start and a nice way to kick things off.
Yeah, absolutely, Deez. It's a good indicator for horses to potentially follow throughout the season and on their different routes, perhaps to the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, perhaps to the Champions Cup at the end of the season. But it's going to be a great race day. As you mentioned, the feature races on the program. There are a couple races where I know punters will look to go short, and then maybe in some of the features look to load up. But I think it's going to be a great day's racing, and can't wait for the season to begin.
Well, let's get straight into it with the WSB dash 400 meters at 11:40. This is where we'll kick things off, and maybe you can try and bang some cash here. Very difficult, but we'll bring up the field, have a look at some betting horses in single figures, and horse number 2 holds the key, is trading at 28 to 10. Then we move all the way to number 8, the Abdicator at 18 to 10. 9, No Filter at 33 to 10, and 10, Trafalgar Square at 8 to 1. Tough to try and work things out. 2-year-old in a race. Number 2 holds the key. We got fillies against geldings. We got a past winner in the race in Trafalgar Square. We got horses that have tried to win this race in the past, like Don Carrari finishing 4th last year behind a rank outsider in Maquette. No Filter was 5th in that race as well. And it all depends on the way you go when the starter says go, because if you miss the break, you're out. I remember in 2023, I think it was 2023, the horse called Renaissance Man was an even money favorite. Correct. And looked to be a speedy type. Yeah. If it just jumped, and
Trafalgar Square won that year.
Exactly, with Jason Gates for Dennis Bosch, but didn't get the break that was needed over 400 meters, and that was it. So
don't forget, last year Chocolate Soldier was all the rage, and he got rolled.
Yes, and the Maquette was a big price for Duncan Al. So this race can spring a result, because if you don't jump on terms, that is it. If you miss the break, that is it. I don't know what's your thoughts on the race, Ryle, because it's very difficult to have a punt on the head. Trifectas, quartets could be the way to go, but this horse, the Abdicator, is a very interesting runner for Matthew and Mike de Kock. Brings the Cape Town form lines into the race, which we can't read anything into because there's no form over 1400 meters. But he's a quick horse, and he's having his first run for the yard. 18 to 10, too short over 400 meters. Yeah,
perhaps it's too short, and like you mentioned, it's hard to have a bet on the head here. But now that he's with a new yard, and all they needed to do with this horse is probably just reschool him a bit. Teach him to jump on terms, and if he jumps on terms, I don't think he'll get beat in this race, because he is that quick out the gates, and it's just a matter of jumping on terms with him, as you mentioned. So he's definitely one of the horses that have got to be on the short list here. Number 10, Trafalgar Square, is a hard horse to ignore. He's quick out the gates. He's won this race before. Dennis Bosch knows what it takes to get the best out of this horse to win. And with 54 on the back, I think that he's certainly going to be a lively wire at around 10 to 1 in the market. And then this 2-year-old holds the key. Not quite sure what to make of him. I know that the Miller Yard, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Miller did say he's one of the quickest horses that he has trained, and the blinkers are on now, which could make him even sharper, and he has been gelded. So if this horse gets away on terms from gate number 2 down that inside running rail, he could certainly hold a strong hand in this contest, but it's not cut and dry. I'd look to play around number 8, the Abdicator, number 10, Trafalgar Square. The 2 horse holds the key, and maybe number 3, Warrior of Royalty, who's another quick horse, and he gets 4 kgs off the back here.
2, 3, 8, and 10 for Rahil. I'm going to take a big bold stance because you're not going to get hurt. At 16 to 1, number 5, Hurricane Cat, with a postage stamp on her back. She is quick out the gates on a day, and she's got 48.5 kgs. And hopefully this young man, who's growing his in confidence. Polisi Mputo can jump her out when the starter says go, and at 16 to 1 you'll get a run for your money. Tough race to crack things up for this massive race day, which is the official start of champion season. And if you find yourself in the winner's queue after race number 1, it's going to be well played.
Race number 2 on the program. This is a maiden juvenile plate over 1200 meters. It will kick off the exotics, the bipod getting underway here. 12:15 is the off time, and it's a field of 9 runners that are set to face up to the starter. Field of 9, where 8 are first timers. Number 2, Intensity, is the only horse with form, and he ran 5th, beaten 8 lengths behind I'm a Fireball, and that was at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. He's currently trading at 4 to 1 in the market. The favorite is number 5, Flag Champ, 5 to 2 into 16 to 10. Number 7, Director, he's at 4 to 1. Born Supremacy, number 3, is at 6 to 1. And then you can get 12 to 1 and better bar those. D's lack of form on offer here. We've got to use the market as a guide, and there's been support for number 5, Flag Champ. He's a son of Canford Cliffs, half-brother to Flagman, who made a name for himself last year during KZN champion season when running a cracking second in the Daily News behind Green with Envy. And he went into the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, where he ran a super race, running back into that 4th position. And he hit the front at one stage, and I'm sure many thought that he would go on to win that day. But was a great run, and unfortunately we haven't seen him since. But we've got his half-brother here, and there's been support around for him. So that's got to sort of steer us in some sort of direction, and especially Canford Cliffs. He's flying with these juveniles.
We're going in blind here. That is all I can say. It's leg 1 of the bipod, and my suggestion is for racing fans is to fill in all the other legs and wait for as long as possible. Use the betting as a guide, and whatever grabs your attention in the ring on the way down to the start, then you fit in leg number 1. Just some pedigree analysis that I managed to pick up. Number 1, Freedom Fighter, Glenn Cotson's runner. He's a half-brother to Green Plains. Number 3, Born Supremacy, Mike Miller's runner. The Dam won twice. I think this is looking for further. 4, Zara's Winter, the other runner from the Mike Miller stable. Doim was a 5-time winner from 12 to 1400 meters. You mentioned the half-brother to Flagman, number 5. This horse, World of Royalty. If he's not too green, he's got a money chance. That's the word from the Nathan Kotson stable. The Dam was a 4-timer as a winner, and all her wins were over 1,000 meters. And then we got the half-brother to Bavarian Beauty in number 9, which is Paul Lafferty's runner. So that's some pedigree analysis. You're going to have to be the judge here in leg 1 of the bipod. The betting, a guide. Watch them in the ring to possibly put in your numbers. Very difficult to assess here in race number 2. But number 5, Flagman, the word is that he's working well. That is the comment in the computer form. We know that his half-brother was very decent. A tough start to the bipod where we're going in blind. My suggestion is, how do we go? Well, I'm sitting on the fence until 12:15. And I'm going to wait for as long as possible, Ryle, to put in leg number 1. But at this stage of the game, if I read the comments and just have a look at the betting, numbers 5 and 6, look to be the horses. But Glenn Cotson's runner, number 1, Freedom Fighter, the half-brother to Great Plains, keeps me very interested.
Yep, that is the one horse, Freedom Fighter, who's currently at around 12 to 1 in the market. But race number 2, as you heard from Dees, just have a look at these horses go down to the start. Have a look at the betting market before making your final decision.
Place accumulator time, race number 3, 12:50, 10 to 1, 1200 meters, maiden juvenile plate for fillies. And as we bring up the field, let's have a look at some betting. Number 1, Royal Kalini is at 6 to 1. 2, Dark Winter is trading at 2 to 1. Then we got number 6, Delaware River at 6 to 1. There's some outside money here, Rael, for a horse called Soul Namara, number 7. From 14 to 1, that's been backed into 9 to 2. Number 8, Love the USA at 9 to 2. And 11, Kim K is at 6 to 1. Comments that are worth noting. Number 8, Love the USA, working well. Garrett Van Zale's runner. So that's good enough for me for a horse to be considered for the PA. 11, Kim K, nice type. needs luck from the draw. So that's another tick for me with those comments. So 8 and 11 of the first timers will keep many interested. Place accumulator, Ryle. I don't know how many numbers you are wanting to include here, but for me, it's number 2, Dark Matter. That will get my vote. Horse number 6, Delaware River, because I respect the Gauteng form. 8, Love the USA, and 11, Kim K. Just on pedigree analysis for number 8, Love the USA, Dam a 4-time winner over sprints. And I see that this horse, 11, Kim K, the Dam did win over 1,200 meters. It's a tough start to the PA. I think if you manage to try and get through with the minimum spend, you're a winner. But Dark Matter, just the other day, I think it was Captain's Pride that came to enhance the form line. So that will keep you interested at around 2 to 1.
I think I'm going to be a winner here. Number 2, Dark Matter. This is going to be my stance here on the PA. Banker in the first leg, in or out. From what I saw from this filly on debut, I've only got positive things to say about her. I think 1,200 meters is going to suit her quite nicely. The manner in which she finished off a race on debut behind I'm a Fireball, who unfortunately didn't do anything for that form line in the Godolphin Bob. I think he was very disappointing that day. I expected a lot more.
That was those juvenile features that they were results.
Yeah, it was strange because even that was Military Command.
Wow.
That was a poor run from him, but. He's a horse that, I don't think that we can just ignore. Want to keep an eye on next time out. But nonetheless, this filly ran a very good race. She was set to run last week, if I'm not mistaken, when the meeting was abandoned. And she was a filly that I thought would go close. And I think this is the right type of race for her. From gate number 2, she's got the experience on the side. And she ran in soft conditions on debut. So I think with the ground being a bit sticky on the day, I think it will suit her nicely. 2 to 1 in the market. I'm going to take a stance and say that I'm going to start some all-to-comes on the day with this filly. I think that she's going to be hard to beat here.
Okay, Ryle is all in with number 2, Dark Matter. Some confidence coming through. He's hoping that she can build on that performance first time out. She was well beaten, but Fireball was a fluent winner, beaten 5 lengths, and she was trading at around 16 to 1. Did she come up under the radar? Well, we'll see on the Saturday if she can build on that first performance, that debut performance at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. The one thing we know is that she's got the draw going around the turn and going to be a choice for Ryle, number 2, Dark Winter. So he's all in there, leg 1 of the PA. I'm going for cover with numbers 6, 8, and 11 as the cover to number 2. And the place accumulator again begins at 12.50.
Race number 4, this is the first of our features on the afternoon. It is the start of the Pick 6, 2,000 meters the distance. It is the Independent on Saturday inside the East Coast Cup listed contest. 1 is the off time. And your favorite at the time of recording is number 4, Goodness Gracious Me, trading at 7 to 2. Number 7, Mocha Blend, is at 4 to 1. 11 to 2 about number 2, Hat's Queen, at 6 to 1. And Better Bar. Those we've got a package, so let's listen up to what the trainers have to say about their respective runners.
Yeah, based on her last run, it looked like she probably didn't see out the 1750, but she did get a clot in her eye during the run. Probably got going a little bit early in the race and was found wanting late, and that was her second up. So 3rd up on Saturday, she should peak. Her work is solid. Obviously she's going to get a nice cozy run round from the 1 draw, which will assist her seeing out the 2,000 meters. Her work is exceptional, and if she brings that level of work to the races on Saturday, she should be involved.
Yeah, look, she was drawn badly in the Guineas, so we decided let's rather take our chances here in the 2000. She's my dark filly for the Natal season. I really think if the Will Lavington was still a 3-year-old's race, I think she'd give the Joburg horses a proper go for their money. So on the card, probably the one that I think will be the best price and will run a big race. Do not leave her out of anything.
Yeah, look, we obviously rate her and we think she's on the up, and we think she's a smart filly in the making. The weather hasn't helped us though, with the rain, I didn't work her much through the rainy weather because the tracks weren't good. I just want to take a chance with her. So it's been a bit of a rush to get her back. I think I probably got a 90%. but she has got a lot of natural stamina in her pedigree, so that'll probably be enough to get her home.
Yeah, quite an interesting race here, the fourth race on the program, with a number of these horses going over 2,000 meters for the first time in their career. These, I'd like to start off with number 7, Mocha Blend. I'm going to make her my top choice in this race here, and I know that she hasn't taken on much and she hasn't beaten much, but at the end of the day, all you can do is beat what's put in front of you, and she's done it emphatically. Last time out, she beat Sasha's Dream convincingly by 3.5 lengths, having to concede 4 kgs to her, and that was on the poly track. There's no doubt that she's going to be better on the turf. And just listening to Frank Robinson's comments and speaking to him about this filly, he thinks quite a lot of her, and he actually believes that she could be quite a nice Oaks filly, and I'm sure he's mentioned it in the winning interviews. She comes into the race having been off the track, but Frank can get the horses fit and ready, and he seems to be quite upbeat about her chances. And when you have a look at her pedigree, everything suggests that 2,000 meters further is going to suit her, and she's only going to come into her own once she continues to mature and develop as a horse. So I think that this could be a nice sort of starting point for her in a feature race career, and I think that she's going places, and I like her chances a lot, and I think that she's going to go run a huge race.
If she wins, I'm out. I'm gone. Goodbye. Everything.
Not for you.
Not in the top 4.
Sure.
All due respect to the filly, she could be on the up. Her win last time out in a C division class was an average rating of 76. This is a 91. It's a big step up in class for her. Pull out a form line of her last start. There have been 28 runners in total, 28, and 2 subsequent winners. So it's not a form line that you can be wowed about. Yeah, she could be a filly that could make it look very easy, making it 3 in a row against a field where there's lots of quality. She's 90% ready, interrupted preparation. I wish the Connections all the best. If she wins, good luck. I see that Jermaine Maraj also tips us in the computer form, so he thinks there's more to come from her. She's the unexposed filly in the race. If she wins, well done. I'm going number 1, Mash Arena.
You think she'll stay?
I don't have any problem with that. She is a half-sister to Malmoose. The dam only won from a mile to 2,600 meters. Last time out, she found Tamaris better on the day. She's drawn 1. I think that is the key. I know that her wins have all been over shorter, but I don't have an issue over the distance. Number 2, Hats Queen, tops the best weighted column. She gets 2,450 meters. Positive, solid comments from Justin Snate with number 4, Goodness Gracious Me. That's get my vote. And number 8, Fatal Gem for Brett and James Crawford. The one run that she did have over 2,000 meters, I don't think it was a matter of the stamina not kicking in. She just had an off day that day. In that summer fling down in the Western Cape. She's a half-sister to Pink Tourmaline, who won 7 times from 1,800 to 2,400 meters. So no issue for me with the distance with number 8, Fatal Flaw. So place accumulator, I'm suggesting 4 numbers, 1, 2, 4, and 8. And if you're looking for cover in the pick 6, well, Ryle's number 7, Mocha Blend could be 1, and then maybe 11 and 12. But I think the winner should come from numbers 1, 2, 4, and 8. If I'm pushed for a selection, Justin State has really twisted my arm after those comments with number 4, Goodness Gracious Me, because my initial choice was number 1, Mash Arena. So between 1 and 4, I think those could be nice double floating bankers in quartets and trifectas.
Yeah, I think number 12, you touched on it briefly. I think she's a filly that at 14 to 1, she needs to be included into the play. I thought it was a cracking last start behind Give Me Everything, and she was only beaten a length that day, and she'll be doing her best work out to finish another that will be suited to the step up in distance to 2,000 meters. So that is race number 4. Quite an interesting contest here, the East Coast Cup, a listed race, the start of the pick 6. It could be a nice result here in race number 4 to get that pick 6 underway.
Well, Jackpot 1 will begin in race number 5. It's an odd time. Jot it down, 13:58. You'll need to get Jackpot 1 on by. The Independent on Saturday Drill All Stakes, Group 2 over 1,400 meters. What a field. Highly competitive, quality racing. And I see the best weighted column is topped by Montine, number 8 ahead of number 2, See It Again, then number 1, Cafe Culture, 12, Cousin Casey, and 6, Barbaresco. Those are the top 5 in the best weighted column if you want to use that as a guide. We've got an interview package lined up.
Yes, very well drawn. certainly a horse that can light up here. I mean, his last run in the 1200 was a very good run, I thought, against sprinters. So he's back in form. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get any grass here at Summerveld, so I had to do a last-minute trip to Scottsville and gave him a gallop with double Grand Slam like 7 days before the race, which for me is not ideal. It's not what I normally would do. So I'm hoping that we've managed to get some fitness into him before this race, but it's certainly not the way I normally, what I planned. And in saying that, he's such a big trier, and certainly it's just a horse that you can't leave out. The last time he was on a grass track was in his last run in the Cape. In saying that, he's the horse that I wasn't willing to go all the way to Scottsville to gallop. I do think he's a horse that's pretty fit. He comes so well here in Natal. But I just do feel if I'd got that gallop here at Summerveld 10 days before, 2 weeks before, at any point, I think he was the best bet on the card. And I say that because of what happened last year with him here in Natal. He comes properly well. It's just whether I've been able to train him without having that opportunity. So there's got to be, there's risk involved here for me. There's no ways I can possibly be confident with a horse that just hasn't been able to do what we normally would do into a race like this. So yes, the right horse. Yes, the 3-year-olds have smoked the older horses the entire summer season in Cape Town. But as I said, there is a warning there. So let's hope I've done the job right.
Yeah, no, he's come out of it well. You know, he's a sound horse. He never gives me any hassles, and he's as honest as can be. And yeah, listen, last time I'm a bit unlucky. You know, they let the second horse let the winner get away. And this horse that was lying second, and we never just got there. But listen, maybe our luck is due for this season.
Yeah, he was impressive when he won the Jetmaster Stakes, Kenilworth, on Diadem Plate Day, Derby Day. And it was the first time I tried him over 1600 metres. So I've gone for the Droll Stakes. You know, I've got to start him off. You know, he was, obviously that pushed him up. His rating went up. And it's a difficult place in you know, for the prep that lies ahead. So I'm going to go for this race, and his next race, I've still got a plan that it depends on the performance of this horse on Saturday. But it's not going to be easy from that draw. They haven't been kind to me in these the 2 runners I've got on Saturday, but what can we do? But he's doing well back home, and 1400, I think it'll be okay. But as I said, he showed us that first time tried over a mile that he seems to be staying on. But he's in great shape, but need a lot of luck.
Well, ending off with Dean Kannemeyer. Thanks to all the guys for their input, and Kannemeyer with the Real Prince. Well, the horse was hiked up from a 107 to a 118. One could say deservedly so, the way he smashed the opposition last time out. And although that form line didn't hold up or hasn't held up yet, he's just a horse that was in a race of his own. If he was drawn in the first half of the field, I would have been very confident with what I saw last time out, number 11, the Real Prince. But it's decision time now, Ryle. We heard it from everybody. You would have done the studying. Numbers for me. Number 1, Cafe Culture. 2 of the 7 wins have been over the distance. Run of the race from draw 1. Lucinda Woodruff has made a mark. She has shown that her horses have, traveled down well. They've settled in well. She's hit the turf running. Number 4, Great Plains, a distance specialist, loves racing at Hollywoodbets Greyville. Very interesting comments coming through from Justin Snaith there about his runner. And then 11, the Real Prince. 1, 4, 11 for me in the place accumulator. In the pick 6, I'll consider number 2. See it again. Can't discount a horse that captured our imaginations very early on in his career. He's the class horse. And for him to bounce back to his best year wouldn't be a surprise, but I still feel it's on the sharp side for him, just as a safety. Number 2, horse number 7, Questioning. Number 8, Montine. Those are the runners that get my vote. And if you're looking for one more, well, obviously number 5, Gladiatorian. But in the place accumulator, Ryan, numbers 1, 4, and 11 for me. And I think I'll have a chance to double up here.
I agree with your 3 numbers. I'm just going to include number 5, Gladiatorian, as the 4th horse. I like the way he finished off his race last time out. I think the speed will be on, which will play into his hands. And from gate number 5, I think that he'll be doing his best work at the finish. If I have to tip them up, I'm going to be the 4-horse Great Plains. He was good to me last season as a 2-year-old, followed by the 11, the Real Prince, then number 5, Gladiatorian, and the 1-horse Cafe Culture. So I think we're reading the race from the same hymn sheet here. Race 5, we're expecting a nice result, and this is the type of race that the quartet could pay a useful dividend.
It will, regardless of the results. It will pay well. You can see how they are betting here. There's no standout when it comes to the horse at the top of the betting boards. It's basically 9-2 the field, plenty of value. But I think the value in the race could be this horse, number 1, Cafe
Has he been
Culture.
overlooked in the market?
I think so, because he was the fluent winner of the Post Merchants, and I mentioned distance is no issue for him. Draw 1, trading at around 12-1. That could be the value in the race, but it's a highly competitive start to Jackpot 1. You be the judge on which horse you're going for. Your roving banker and quartets and trifectas?
These are going to be with number 4, Great Plains.
Great Plains for Raheel. I was leaning towards number 11, the Real Prince, but I have a lot of respect for the 12-1 shot, number 1, Cafe Culture, and all the best if you're playing into Jackpot 1.
Race number 6, this is World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas, 1600 meters the distance, 14:38 is the off time, and it is the start of Jackpot 2. The favorite here is number 11, Spumante Dolce, and she's trading at 22-10. It's 7-1 and better are those. Let's have a listen up to what the trainers have to say about their runners here in race number 6.
Yeah, no, listen, it's hard for him, but you know, they're up to a merit rate into 99 after the last start, so there's nowhere really else to go. Yeah, like you said, I think she wants further, but she's doing really well at home. Well, for a nice draw, let's say, you know, if she can run the money, we'll be happy.
Very interesting run in that I wasn't bringing her at all for this race, but because we couldn't work some of the other horses here correctly, I thought, well, let me just jump her on a float and get her up here, because a lot of the other horses haven't been able to work here. So it certainly plays into the roles for the Raiders from Joburg. They've got no excuses. They've been given the opportunity here to take on us here in Natal. Raiding is certainly the way to do it at the moment. So dark horse in the race. If you're going wide, add her. She's flying, to be honest. I managed, because these horses had never been, they're group horses, they'd never been to Greyville, I managed to get my 4 Guineas my 4 Guineas runners were allowed to go to the course. The others weren't allowed to go. So they've had the opportunity to go to Greyville and have a gallop, which was televised. If she was drawn better, I would have made her a run in this race. But from that draw, it's going to be very hard. There's some nice fillies in this race, and I think any chance that she might have had could have gone out the window with the draw. But get a bit of luck in running. Maybe a filly, as I said, if you're going wide, add her.
Yeah, affiliate's improving. She took 1 or 2 runs for the penny to drop, and she won well the other day. I mean, times the last 400 was very, very good. She's won the last 4 in a row. This is a minimum trip. Unfortunately, we're drawn right on the outside. You know, and I'd spoken to the owners, and we decided to enter in the colts and the fillies. But you do well in the colts, but to take on horses that have won the Met and those top colts in South Africa, 3-year-old colts, very, very difficult. So we decided we'll take our chances from the bad draw, but it's at a minimum trip, and there's other races that lie ahead for 3-year-old fillies that I'll look at too. But she's doing well, and we've got to take our chances from that bad draw. But I was happy with her work this morning, and she's really maturing and filling out nicely, this filly.
Yeah, she's turning out to be quite an exciting filly. Is number 14, Give Me Everything, who's won the last 4 in a row, and she's currently priced up at around 7-1 in the market, with the likes of number 7, Oxalis Gold, and number 12, Green Sapphire. You can get 8-1 about VJ's Angel. Both VJ's Angel and One Petit Cherie have found support, 10-1 into 8-1, and then 14-1 into 8-1 respectively. It's 12-1 and better bar those. D's race number 6. Your thoughts on the World Sports Betting Fillies Guineas?
Well, you're going to have to take a stance here for the exotics unless you are, willing to go as wide as your budget will allow. When I say as wide as your budget will allow, there are 14 runners. My rule is 7. If it's more than that, it's the field. But I've taken a stance here in race number 6. Good luck to everybody that have runners in the race. It looks like a quartet of note to catch. The betting is like so. Number 1, VJ's Angel, is at 8-1. 7, Oxalis Gold at 7-1. Then we got 11 Spumante Dolce at 22 to 10, number 11 Green Sapphire at 7 to 1, and number 14 Give Me Everything is at 7 to 1. It's double figures the balance. My stance is 2 runners in the PA, 2 runners in the jackpot. Spumante Dolce for Matthew and Mike de Kock, having won 3 on the bounce. She then took a place in the South African Classic after her win in the Guineas, and there were valid reasons as to what went wrong. The computer form has it mucus in trachea, and then she bounced back nicely in the Empress Club Stakes behind Fatal Flaw. She brings some of the strong 3-year-old form lines from the Highveld to KZN, and taking on horses from other provinces now. So this will level the playing fields when it comes to where she sits in the pecking order. Number 11 Spumante Dolce, she's an obvious choice. And then a horse that's really grabbed my attention, Rael, and I think I've spoken to you off air about this filly. When she won at big price post maiden at around 14 to 1. On that day, I pencil her in as one to follow until she gets beat, and she's since reeled off 4 on the bounce. Her last winner, first in the province at this course, was a good look at the track over 1,600 meters. She came from off the speed. I think that margin of close to a length does flatter the second horse. The draw is against her. She's the unknown in the race, the unknown at this level. Is she going to achieve much higher than this rating? It could be the case. So she's the horse that I'm going to have as backup for 11 Spumante Dolce. 11 and 14, once you start looking for past those runners, I personally think you're looking for Black Gold here, which is a tough ask, unless you really like something, or you manage to find a few runners as backup. Good luck here in race number 6, but 11 and 14, that's my day in race number 6.
Yeah, Deez, I think both those horses need to be given the utmost of respect. Just Spumante Dolce would be the top choice for me in this race here. Cracking run last time out by Fatal Flaw, and she's a filly that has got loads of upside, so I think she's going in the right direction, as is a 14. I think number 9 Scarlet McCaw is worth the mention. Last time out she moved up as if she was going to go past them, and she just needed that run a touch. She's going to strip a much fitter horse today, well, at least on Saturday, and I think at 12 to 1 in the market she could run a nice race. Andrew Fortune's right in at the top of his game, and he teams up here with Candice Bass Robinson. And then this horse, VJ's Angel, yeah, she seems to have a mind of her own, because last time out she just refused to race, and she is a winner of the Premier's Champion Stakes as a 2-year-old when beating the boys over 1,600 meters. So she's certainly very, very capable, and if she decides to put her best foot forward, well, then she can be a factor. And in the Gauteng Fillies Guineas, there is absolutely zero to choose between herself and Spumante Dolce, and one is at 22 to 10 and the other at 8 to 1. So 1, 9, 11 and 14, the 4 runners that I'll be included in the exotics here in race number 6. And then you heard from Deez, just 2 horses for him. He's in or out here in race number 6, and that's 11 and 14.
Race 7, the WSB Guineas. It's a Group 2 over 1,600 meters. It's for a stake of 750,000, and races 7, 8 and 9 could be a nice way to end off your day playing the pick 3. Let's go to that package before we come back for our selections and some form analysis.
He's a horse that's just on the up. He is fit and ready. Where there's been a lot of interruptions and work and that, it's actually suited this horse, because he's a horse that you could easily overcook. So he's been quite lucky in that manner. He's taken to Natal. He's our quiet horse for the season, and I think whatever beats him will win the race. With the draw and the way things will pan out, he's the horse that everyone needs to keep an eye on. He looks great, he's sound, he's an easy horse to train. The race will bring him on so much, and I think he's taken to Natal. With his temperament, he can't not. He's just such a nice individual. Certainly going to run his race. Is he 100% ready? Impossible with what we've had to deal with the last 3 weeks. But is he still good enough to beat a field like this? For sure. But as I said, it's very hard to be confident at that price with what we've been able to do the last few weeks. Yeah, look, we tried to settle him at Scottsville, and also the track was in a bad condition. I mean, it's unfortunate the rain created it, not blaming any individual, but the track was really bad. And we're having a few issues there with the start of racing again. It's very inconsistent, but as I said, no blame to anyone. We need to race, but the track is very inconsistent, and he was stumbling at Greyville, up the hill, and that. I think we'll see a big change to the racing style. We're not going to settle him. He likes to go forward. I looked at this race and there's no pace. So he's a horse that can just go out his normal pace and make it an honest race. At the same time, he's a horse that goes hard, which is, you never know. If they all leave him alone, he could sneak into the money. But obviously there's some very tough horses there.
Yeah, obviously an unconventional prep into a Guineas for a sort of non-battle hardened horse, but he has shown very, very good ability. He's fortunate that field cut up quite badly because he was originally drawn out quite deep. The key to him on Saturday will be for Sean to switch him off early. He's got great gate speed, and if he relaxes in the run and does things correctly in the run, big ask for him, but he can turn it on. So we once again in unknown territory with him, but the horse is fit and well, and we're hoping for a positive effort from him.
Yeah, look, he took it run well. I mean, obviously it was a prep into this. Funny, the third horse of Byron Foster's came and won the sprint feature in Maritzburg on Sunday, so it was good form. He ran on nicely. I think he's going to go the mile. That's going to be obviously the test. You have to just ride him quietly, leave him alone. He likes to run that way, and we'll see if he's good enough. But he's in a very good space, and he's fit, and he's very well.
Well, as we bring up the field, let's have a look at some betting. Number 1, Sail the Seas, money 9-2 into 7-2. 3, Cosmic Speed at 9-2. 4, Fire Attack is at 11-2. 5, 8 on 18 at 9-10. It's double figures the balance. I'm very concerned and worried now because I've done my Breeze show already, and I've made number 5, 8 on 18 a PA banker. The only backup I had in that PA for the jackpot was number 4, Fire Attack.
Moving too quick here.
After those comments from Justin Snate, who has it's muddy the waters. Number 1, Sail the Sea, fit and ready. Whatever beats him wins. And he says that number 5, 8 on 18, this run is going to be used to bring him on. You can't be confident that at price there's more to come from him. Of course, we know his main mission will be the Hollywoodbets Durbanville July, where he's the ruling favorite. I thought class could prevail here with number 5, 8 on 18, but the confidence from the yard is certainly with number 1, Sail the Seas, if those comments are anything to go by from Justin, and he knows his horses. So initially I went 5, 8 on 18 and 4, Fire Attack. Now, after those comments, I'm looking at 2 more runners. That's why we have these interviews to give us some input, and it is a help. I'm going to also include number 1, Sail the Seas, on those comments from Justin, and number 3, a Group 1 winner of the horse chestnut, Cosmic Speed. So 1, 3, 4, and 5. Is that good enough? Yeah, it's 9 runners. 1, 3, 4, and 5 for the jackpot. But for the PA, whilst I had number 5, 8 on 18 as a banker, if it misses out on the top 3, that's going to be huge. So I'll consider including number 1 now, Sail the Seas.
Yeah, it is 1, 3, 4, 5. I agree with your numbers here, but I really like number 3, Cosmic Speed. I think at 9-2 is worth a punt on the head. He ran a great second last time out to main defender in the Hawaii Stakes over 1,400 meters. He was absolutely low flying at the finish. He's 400 to finish. They recorded in a time of 21.5. So that just goes to show the ground that he was making up in soft conditions. He's a winner here at Hollywoodbets Greyville when we win the Grade 2, the Golden Horse shoe, as a 2-year-old beat in Proceed. And then on Gold Cup Day, he failed to fire up from a 9 draw. Craig Zaki is unbeaten on him, 2 from Gate 3. I think he's going to get a dream run in transit. And for me, he's the horse that I think they all need to beat. Number 4, Fire Attack, well, he proved himself last time out when beating the older horses in the Champions Challenge over 2,000 meters. He'll no doubt be a factor. And then the comments from Justin Snate about the 1. It's hard to ignore his chances now, Sail the Seas. And then you obviously touched on number 5, 8 on 18. So if I had to tip them in order of preference, 3, 4, 5 and 1, that's how I'm going to tip them up here. But I really like number 3, Cosmic Speed D's.
Okay, we're on the same page with the 4 runners for the jackpot. Place accumulator, Ryle, you're going to banker number 3?
Yeah, I will take a chance. Banker in Dark Matter in leg number 1 and here in leg 5. I'll take my chances and banker this horse, Cosmic Speed.
Okay, top 3, number 3, Cosmic Speed, a banker. I initially went at 5, 8 on 18 as a banker, but as I mentioned, that's why we have these interviews for these feature races and any other race on any given race day to try and give us some input on what's happening behind the scenes. So if that's anything to go by, then 8 on 18 has to be covered with the stable companion number 1, Sail the Seas. Again, just recapping on those comments. Fit and ready, and whatever beats him wins.
Race number 8, penultimate race on the program, 15:58 is the off time. It's a progress plate for fillies and mares over 1200 meters. Number 2, Rodeo Drive is your favorite at 16-10. Number 4, Boston Glory at 28-10. You can get 6-1 about number 6, Sovereign Grant, 7-1 number 11, Lock and Key, number 12, Katiwe's Destiny. It is then 20-1 and better bar those. Now, when it is a progress plate, you tend to look to the best weighted column as a guide, and it can often be a good guide, and number 2, Rodeo Drive, is the one that tops it here. This filly is taking a step down in class. She jumped from gate number 2, and on Gold Cup Day, I remember when she was a short price favourite, these, and she was rolled that day behind Just Reckless. It wasn't a great start to the race meeting for many punters, and she'll be back here at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and hopefully to make up for that defeat when beaten behind Just Reckless. And when you have a look at her form, D, she sets a clear standard here.
Yeah, I'm going to make possibly the best bet on the card, having a look at all the races, competitive, the early part of the race meeting, a lot of unknowns with first timers. We then get into the exotics, where we've given our thoughts on those races. But everything will hinge on this filly winning on the day for my exotics, because I'm going to say banker and everything. Richard Faree, he's had 2 tries on her. Both times he's run second, and those seconds have been over 1200 meters. Usually, 2 is too many for Richard to get it right. I don't think he'll miss this time round. He's nicely drawn at 2. He knows the filly. She comes into the race having raced in the Sophomore, the Swallow, the Man of War last time out. And although she's been well beaten, I think the strength of those form lines will be good enough. The draw is a max factor. She's a banker for me in everything. If you're looking for exacta swinger play, number 4, Boston Glory, number 6, Sovereign Grant, and number 12, Katiwe's Destiny. But Rodeo Drive, banker.
I'm just going to include one more horse, number 12, Katiwe's Destiny. From gate 12, she's going to need a lot of luck in running, but I think she'll strip a much fit horse, and I think that she'll be doing her best work at the finish. So 2 and 12 are the 2 horses that I like in race number 8. These is all in here with number 2, Rodeo Drive, in the penultimate race on the program.
Race number 9 is where we'll close the race meeting off. It's over 1400 meters. It's a class 4, and we bring up the field and have a look at some betting here. Number 4, Super Fast, 7-1. 7 is Future Nair at 5-1. Then we got 8, World of Our Own at 9-2. And horse number 12, Moya Wala Liga at 5-1, and 12 Run for Cover at 5-1. 3 horses in the place accumulator. I'm going to go 8, World of Our Own. Alison Wright and Gavin Larena team up with a horse that Gavin knows very well. He's 2 from 2 on him, carrying 61 kgs. We'll need some luck from the draw in for the pick 6 and the place accumulator. Number 9, Give That Bells, Lucinda Woodruff's runner. Although the form is in and out, I like the fact that this horse does well over this type of distance, and willing to forgive him for his last start. I think against this type of field, the course will suit him, especially if he jumps out and possibly races up handy. Then number 13, Run for Cover for Pit Bota. First run for the stable. I'll give you a very interesting stat here, Ryan. This horse has won 4 times. All 4 wins have been over 1,450 meters, and although it says 2 runs, yet to place over the distance, 1,450 meters, 1,400 meters, well, it's 50 meters, isn't it? So this is possibly, his ideal trip. And although he's carrying 61.5 kgs, I think he can have his first win first up for Pit Porter. Done superb for Waishong Mawing. So 8, 9, and 13 place accumulator. My cover numbers for the pick 6, 6, 7, and 9.
Yeah, Deez, I think it's a strange race in the sense that the horses that we like have all got deep draws to contend with. I think number 9, you touched on him, give that man a belt. I think he's all the value in the race at 12 to 1. You touched on the fact that 1,400 meters suits him. Hollywoodbets Greyville will suit him as well. And he's got the gate speed to get across from gate 9. And he's been running at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, where they've got a longer run-in with a shorter run-in that will play into his hands. And I think that he'll run a nice race. The 8-horse World of Our Own, the only concern with this horse for me is that the 1,400 meter may be on the sharp side for him. I think he's just better over a mile, but I think he's quite a nice horse and he'll win his fair share of races. The 6-horse Al Dante, he will strip very, very fit for this outing. He's now 3rd up, and with a slight rating drop down to 81, well, he can be a factor in this race here. And then you also touched on 13, Run for Cover. I think you've touched on the horses that do have winning chances here, but it's certainly a race where I wouldn't be surprised if we were to get a bit of a result here, especially from one of the other horses that are sort of at a bigger price here. But 8, 9, well, 6, 8, 9, 13, those are the 4 horses that you could perhaps play around here. But yeah, number 9, agree, value in the race, 12 to 1.
Yeah, give that man a belt. I think the 12 to 1 shot could be the value in the race, especially if he can get over from that wide draw and a race up handy. I think he'll be suited to the track because he is distance suited. Thanks to Rahul Radhakrishna, thanks to the Gallop TV team, and to you, the valued racing fan. If you are playing at Hollywoodbets Greyville on Saturday, have a blast. Find all the winners, and hopefully it turns out to be a wonderful, profitable day for you. Until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashte.